Anaconda came out in 1997 and is a total guilty pleasure movie for me, as is the second one. But fuck you 3 and 4, you didn't even try. Notable highlights are Jon Voight having way too much fun with this role, and that J-Lo and Ice Cube have surprisingly good chemistry. We also have a pre-career Owen Wilson that's pretty amusing. And now for the lingering questions, cause every movie has them. Why is there a well-known actor playing what's basically an extra in the opening kill? Why doesn't the snake go for the monkeys? If the snake is right in front of him, why doesn't he just shoot the snake? Then there's this.
Well, looks like there's sufficient evidence to suspect that these people are out there, can be found and studied. At least that's what I told the Grant people.
So does he have the evidence? Or are the Grant people a bunch of suckers and he just scammed a free vacation to try and get back with his ex? How are they powering any of the video or sound equipment seen at any point in this movie? Why are they so surprised by the fact that it rains in a rainforest? When fishing river style, why are Cerrone's pants completely dry? The boat is on the other side of the river. Did he jump or just walk on the water? Why does pompous British guy assume that he's a failed priest? A priest can leave the priesthood without failing. They can simply resign and decide to do something else with their life. How many batteries do you think he brought for that boombox? How many CDs? This boat is very, very small. How does the private Firefly conversation take place in private? And why can't we hear the boombox? Why doesn't the panther smell the snake? Or hear it? Or sense its movement with its whiskers? What's it doing laying on the ground being an easy target anyway? I think this movie didn't look up panthers. Or snakes. Why does pompous asshole suck so hard at putting if he's the one who brought the golf gear? And how is he not out of balls in like 5 minutes if he's that bad? The plot tribe legend. Why do they worship giant snakes that will supposedly kill and eat people just for funsies? Why is Cale so surprised when Cerrone says he's met the plot tribe? Didn't he set up this whole expedition? Shouldn't he already believe in them? Yeah, he scammed those Grant people for sure. Cerrone says the one fork is the right one to take to find the tribe because he hunts snakes? I got nothing. Owen and Dead Red really are stupid enough to think you can just wander off in the jungle in the middle of the night and nothing will try to kill you. The horror movie-itis is strong with these two. Wait, Cale hears the gunshot, but not the boar or the screaming woman? Okay, pause the movie. The wasp in the mask. I have so many questions. To start with, scuba divers check their equipment. They then put it all on, get in the water, and check it again before actually diving. That's standard, and anyone who's certified knows that. Also, that is one huge ass bug. How did it not just block the tube entirely? Why did it take so long to wait to sting? And while I believe that Cerrone could find one of these just laying around because it's in the jungle, how did he put it in the mask without anybody seeing? Since Cale would have checked his equipment and found it in good working order before even putting it on, the only time Cerrone could have put the bug in there is between when Cale checked his equipment, put it on, and got in the water? How did nobody see that? So Cale is stung, and by all rights, he's dead. He's stung in either the mouth or the throat, which would swell and kill him within minutes, probably before they even get him out of the river. Cerrone says the wall is new, and yet he just happens to have the perfect amount of dynamite to blow it up. And they still don't figure out he's evil. At this point, they've all contracted horror movie-itis. Boom goes the wall, but wait a minute. Who the fuck stores fuel that way? With barrels on their side, so they'll be sure to roll nice and easy, and one piece of rope holding them there? That's just asking for trouble. Also, you're in a flat-bottom boat in a river that is very shallow in many, many places. Ever consider maybe jumping in and trying to get some of those barrels back since you are stopped right now, so they're just sitting there right behind you. Then pompous British ass says this.
You knew there were snakes here, didn't you, Cerrone?
Of course there are snakes here. It's the fucking jungle. Have these people never heard of a jungle before? Are they unfamiliar with the concept? Not one of them could crack a book. Okay, pause it. Mini rant. People, I know it's a dumb popcorn movie, but you do have to pay at least some attention if you don't want to be confused. The boat they find to check for fuel. It seems to confuse so many people. No, it is not Cerrone's boat, or another boat of his. It's Extra Guy from the opening Kills boat, duh. We see his gun, we see the tower that he shot himself on, the cages. It's clearly his boat. Why does nobody seem to remember that? The newspaper article. This is the backstory of Cerrone, Matteo, and Extra Man, which is why Cerrone hides it. They all used to hunt snakes together, but have clearly parted ways in, I'm guessing, not the best of fashions, and that's why Matteo and Cerrone have that look when Cerrone comes on board. Which might lead you to ask why Matteo didn't warn the film crew that Cerrone is a crazy obsessive fuck, but since they've parted ways some time ago, he probably doesn't know just how dangerous Cerrone has become. And since it's connected, I'll take now to talk about the Cole is going to die, but then he's just fine thing. I don't think this is the movie screwing up. It's Matteo who says that the wasp is deadly. There's then another look between him and Cerrone where Cerrone looks very approving. For my 2 cents, Matteo is lying. He's already in cahoots with Cerrone, who probably made him an offer much like the one he'll make to Owen Wilson any second now. So the wasp is not actually deadly, but is just meant to lay Cale up enough that they have to take Cerrone's alternate route to get to the hospital quicker. Making Cale's slow recovery throughout the movie make actual sense, and explaining why an experienced captain like Matteo would just leave a big-ass coil of rope sitting by an open side right above the propeller. Because otherwise that's just really fucking stupid. I call bad editing on both the really awkwardness of Matteo falling in and the sudden camera angle change and appearance out of nowhere of the snake. That's some bad editing. Where did Cerrone get the Anaconda skin from? Also, he clearly doesn't give a fuck that someone has died, and they still don't realize he's evil. Why is J-Lo suddenly stupid? She believes Cale is dying. There's nowhere for Matteo to go or have gone, and she still wants to wait all night just in case he comes back. Back from where, you stupid bitch? How the fuck does British guy know how to drive that kind of boat? What is Cerrone's plan when fishing for the Anaconda? That line looks like I could snap it, and he knows anacondas can regurgitate the fucking hook. So really, what is the plan here? And why aren't they filming it like they said they would? He tries to blind it. Fine. So why doesn't he shoot the thing when he's got it on the line? He never even tries until after it breaks off, and he doesn't have Owen in a position to shoot it. Speaking of which, what is Owen doing while Cerrone's wrestling with it? Why doesn't he shoot it? When it's killing Owen, Cerrone could just stab it with the tranq dart. He's right there. For a guy who makes a living as a poacher, he really, really sucks at capturing snakes. How strong is the British guy if he can swing through a pane of glass and still cause a large bleeding head wound? Maybe it's him we should be afraid of. Has anyone in this movie ever even seen somebody tied up before? You never played cops and robbers as a kid? Not one of them is into bondage. If Cerrone didn't want the backstory article found, why did he bring it with him? What the fuck is the this is all a setup? She's right, to a point. After they found Cerrone, he did start manipulating them, and pretty much everything from that has been a setup of some kind. But did she really think that he got his own boat, stranded, at just the right time, in just the right place, to be found by them because why? He already had a boat, dynamite, and knew where the snake was. He didn't need you, bitch! At this point, why do any of them think they need Cerrone to survive? Just keep going the way you're going, get back to the city, and don't go fishing for any more anacondas. You'll be just fine. How is the water that shallow at the base of a waterfall? And how the hell does British guy climb that thing about 60 feet with no climbing gear, wet rocks, no experience, scared out of his mind in about 2 seconds? Seriously, J-Lo can't shoot Cerrone when he's 1 foot in front of her? What did the snake do with the British guy? We clearly see the snake let go of him as it's falling into the water. Is he even dead? How does Cerrone know it's a dart stabbing him in the back? And how does he not drown or get eaten by something else when they throw him in the river? How did they get the tree off the boat? And we have more bad editing as the waterfall says fuck you to gravity and starts traveling upwards as they back away with no tree in sight. They see weapons lying around as they approach the old factory, and yet they don't take that as a sign or maybe take the weapons with them. I know, horror movie-itis. Come on, movie, even Cerrone is terrible at tying people up. Again, what is his plan? That net is nowhere near strong enough or big enough to hold the snake. And does Cerrone really think that he is strong enough to hold the snake in the net and shoot it at the same time? What is his plan? Maybe that's why he needed partners. How does the snake go from wrapped around Cerrone's neck 1 second to having a clear path to eat him the next? If J-Lo knows she's going up the smokestack, why does she look around all panicked like she has no idea where to go when the ladder is right fucking beside her? Where does Ice Cube get dry matches from? And how does he strike them? Also, he uses a fire hose as a wick. A fire hose. A thing designed to be dragged through fire without burning. Movie, did you really have to make J-Lo too stupid to know how to open a hatch? And then she's too scared to jump into the water? The snake is also stupid for deciding to be on fire rather than just, submerging, put itself out, and come back and attack them some more. Now, being on fire, that's really the way to go there. Good call. Ding dong, the snake is dead and the plot tribe arrives. But if they really worship these snakes and these two just killed 2 of them, then wouldn't the tribe maybe try to kill them? Are we sure anybody survives this movie? So the movie's over. But not this review. Second mini rant. The religious threads in the movie. The snake is the devil. No, really. Jan, who I've been calling Dead Red, even says so. And the movie really means it. The snake is the devil. And most likely it's Kale who is Jesus because he basically dies and gets resurrected in 3 days. Now Cerrone is probably a fallen angel because he's a former priest and now a poacher and a killer, and he's actively seeking the devil. Owen plays the role of Judas because he starts out good, but then switches to the dark side for money, just like the real Judas. The other characters seem to live or die based on some factor of goodness. Everyone who is evil is eventually killed. Cerrone is evil, of course, but also fellow poachers Mateo and opening extra guy. Owen becomes evil and is promptly killed. Narrator guy might not seem evil, but he is the only one who wanted to blow up the wall. He did want to hit Cerrone again just to make sure, and admitted that he enjoyed the violence. Though in the end I think it's the asshole factor of his character that really does him in. Jan is killed after deciding to kill Cerrone. No, she doesn't actually do it, and maybe she wasn't actually going to, but it's that decision towards evil that puts her in a position where she is killed. Yes, Ice Cube wants to throw Cerrone in the river, but he doesn't, and he also has several good guy moments, including saving J-Lo at least twice, so he gets a pass. Kale is good for what little he is in the movie, and J-Lo is always good, never once leaning towards the evil side, so they both survive. The good people live, and the evil people die. Also, Cerrone is a priest, and he is on a very spiritual journey to capture the devil, because he thinks he can rock like that. You could easily put Cerrone as the Christ figure, since he is the one actively hunting the devil trying to defeat it. Cale and Owen could be put in the role of the thieves that were crucified along with Jesus, with one of them repenting and being saved, and the other not repenting and being dragged down to hell in a really cheesy effect shot. And if you wanted to add yet one more layer of the religious theming, you could see Cerrone as the usurper of Christ. He's not divine in any way, he's just a man with a god complex, and so he gets crushed and eaten by the devil. That makes sense. But he is then spit up alive, though presumably he's blown up and incinerated shortly thereafter, completing his journey to hell.
Presume. How you like I presume to throw you in the river? You like that, presume?
Okay, I don't presume. But then I'm forced to ask, filmmakers, why wasn't the best character in the movie in the sequel, god damn you? Now for our illustrious awards. Terry gets a this far and no farther for looking around stupidly while standing next to the ladder she knows she's supposed to climb. And also for the hinges thing, because that was pretty fucking stupid. We have a movie view only for the unseen snake that eats Mateo. We get a breaking the mold for having the two minority characters, including the black guy, survive the movie. And a boom because movie for the tower blowing up, because, yeah, no. And the movie wins a sexism first for having J-Lo's character start out confident and then devolve into the helpless female needing to be saved by a stabbed in the leg ice cube. Oh, movie. I am Insane Lane, and that was Anaconda. Bye.